Hey, welcome back to another Netcast. I'm Rich Lopez, Quantrix Authority. Fantastic that you joined me today for episode number 104, Build Fiscal Week Calendar in Quantrix Part 2. In my last video, episode 103, I showed you how to build this fiscal week calendar in Quantrix Modeler instead of using that less than desirable product known as Excel. And this time what I want to show you is how I would format this so that you could print it out and make it usable in a printable format. So there may be a lot of clicking and kind of maneuvering today, but I hope you'll bear with me and maybe you'll learn a thing or two about Quantrix Modeler that maybe you didn't know you could do on a canvas. So what I would do is I would take this Matrix 4 view that I created last time and I would go ahead and I'd create a new canvas, and then I would open up my model browser and I would drag in Matrix 4 view to the canvas like so. All right. And then what I would do is I'd maybe adjust the width of this, of all my columns here, to get them to be the width that I think I want to have. And I'm going to say it probably needs to be something like this. So what I do is we're going to print these off, and then we're going to use them at a meeting to write down some events on every one of these every one of these weeks. So like a troop meeting for every one of these weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of format the height the way I think it needs to be on all of these, if I can do that. And I'll do that on name. I'll probably make detail a little bigger. So again, I'll make detail now a little bigger. So it'll be a little bit taller. I'll go ahead and I'll use my Alt arrow key to select everything, and I will right click, I'll select items only. And I'll go ahead and I'll say B, Control B to make it bold. I'll go ahead and do that for all the months as well. Let me get over to the start. Okay, let's right click, select items only, and I will make them bold as well. Okay, then what I want to do is I want to actually hide my collapsed items, so it looks something like this. So I feel good about that. Maybe I will bold the name though. And so once I have that, I'll select these items again, select items only, I'll make them bold. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat this 3 times because I'm going to show a quarter on each line. Okay, so I'll go here, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste him here and go here. And what I might do is I might go ahead and just select all 3 of them. Go up here, I believe, and I will say align them all left. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to hide certain items. So my first row, I want to have January, February, March, and April. And then I want to have everything else hid, so I'm going to select that, and I'm going to say collapse other. And then in my next one, I'm going to want May, June, July, and August, and everything else hidden. So I'm going to collapse other after I select them. And then I'm going to go down here to the bottom, and I'm going to get everything off of after August, which would be September, October, and so on. Down to December, I want everything collapsed except for those. Now you can see here that I've got it laid out here kind of the way I want it. I'm going to hit F3. It's going to bring up my format toolbox. Now what I want to do is I want to see the category items, okay? So I'm going to uncheck hide category items. I'm going to take year up to the top here because I'm only going to want to see 1 year at a time. I'm going to go up here, I'm going to hit this guy, hide category tiles. Again, I'm going to take year up here, take year up to the top. Again, hide category tiles off format toolbox. I'm going to move year up here. Again, now if I move to 2017, you're going to see 2017's dates in here. If I go back to 2016, you're going to see 2016 dates. I'm going to then select these guys here, and I'm going to click on hide category tiles. That should do all of it. And then I'm probably just going to, kind of move these guys up. Just some dragging with the mouse, I guess. Okay. And then what I want to do is, again, I probably want to align these. And maybe I would do that at the very end instead of do it kind of like I showed you at the beginning. And now I kind of have this fiscal month view for the entire year I would go ahead, maybe I could group these items, okay? And I would say something like, right click on them, I'd select group, and I would want to add a title like, I'll call it Troop 117 Yearly Calendar. And once I do that, you can see that appears here. Then what I can do is I can go up to Print Preview. I can go to my page setup, and I can make it fit 1 page by 1 page. I can adjust it to be landscape. I can look at my margins here. Everything's a 1/4 inch. It's kind of the way I like it. And then it looks something like this. I would then maybe go back to my canvas and maybe stretch these things out, make it a little bit bigger, so it would take up a little bit more of the page. But I think you kind of get the drift of how you could then format it for printing for use in a hard copy. Anyway, I absolutely love Quantrix. This is really simple compared to that lesser program known as Excel. I hope that you'll reach out to me with any questions you may have about Quantrix. It's a free service. I would love to answer your question about Quantrix Modeler, so feel free to reach out to me at quantrixauthority@gmail.com. And please join me again for another episode of Quantrix Authority with Rich Lopez.